So I have 6 books here I want to get to in November. Yeah, I'm doing it big this month. Hi guys, April here and welcome to my November TBR. I wasn't certain if I was going to still do these, but I found some books that I really am excited to read, so let's go for it. And the first book I have up is basically on everyone's lips right now because the sequel has just been released, and that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. The sequel, I believe, is called Muse and Nightmares, was just released maybe last month or the month before, and everybody is just talking about it and loving it. Well, as much as I allow myself to listen to those discussions because I don't want to be spoiled, and now I feel a little left out, so I'm going to jump into this book. My understanding that this is about a place called Weep, a city called Weep, and there is a librarian whose dream was always to visit this city. This city, I believe, is a place where gods either existed in the past or currently occupied. And since this was his dream to always go to this place, and I guess someone called the God Slayer comes into play, and basically Frodo Baggins, the librarian, and they go in search of the place of Weep. Now, okay, that is me summarizing based on the little bit that I know about this book. Other than that, I have absolutely no idea what's going on in here. All I do know is that everyone says how beautiful the writing is, how wonderful and full the story is, and I remember when I bought this, I had just finished Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows duology, and I was all in the fantasy. But as you can see, I have the UK edition here, so I ordered this from Book Depository, I think that's what the website is called, and it took forever to get here. By the time I got this book, I had moved on to something else, so it's just been sitting on my shelf the entire time. But right now I'm back into kind of fantasy mode, and I thought I'd pick this up so I can jump on board with everybody else and see what all the hoopla is about. So yeah, and as thick as this book looks, I think it's just under 600 pages. Yeah, about 532 pages. So I can rock with that. Oh, and a nice little quote on the back. It was impossible, of course, but when did that ever stop any dreamer from dreaming? Beautiful. And yeah, the book is gorgeous. You see the foil in the cover? Just really lovely. So first up, my next book is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Now, this is another book that I have been stalking on Book Outlet for a while, and eventually just bit the bullet, and it's sat on my shelf. But I also have a taste for a nice thriller, and I've heard good things about this. From what I understand, this is about a woman, I think her name is Lo Blacklock. She is a travel journalist who is currently on assignment with a luxury cruise line. It's very exclusive. It doesn't have a lot of cabins or participants for each excursion. So she's about to basically vacation for a week with the creme de la creme. So she's on the cruise, she's enjoying herself, and then all of a sudden she observes someone being thrown overboard. She alerts the crew, they do a crew check, and then they check all the passengers off the manifest, and no one seems to be missing. But she is certain she saw someone go overboard. So the question is, who was that person? Was it a stowaway or an undisclosed member of the crew? Who tossed them over and why? Like I said, I've heard good things about this story, and I'm really interested in sinking my teeth into a good thriller, so I picked this up. By the way, this cover is also amazing. It's the droplets of rain or water on the window here are raised, so I really like that. I know it's a silly little thing about the covers, but I like this one too. Next up, I have another book that it's on everyone's lips because the sequel just came out, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Unlike Strange the Dreamer, I have actually read a V.E. Schwab book. I believe it's called Darker Shade of Magic. Is that what it's called? Yes, it's called The Darker Shade of Magic. There's a series of those books. I've read, I think, 1.5. I haven't finished the second book yet. I don't know a lot about this story. My understanding is that it's two villains who are competing. I think they were once allies, or at least respected each other at one point, who are now, I guess, in competition with each other to do what? I have absolutely no idea. I believe there's a magical system in here, so they may both be magicians. Again, I have absolutely no idea what this book is about, except that everybody seems to love it. It contains magic, and most of the people involved are dislikable. I don't know exactly what that means. Does that mean that they're just villains and you're not supposed to like them, or the writing is off and you just don't like anybody in the book? But I guess I'll find out. In either case, I got it really cheap from the used bookstore, and I'm diving in, y'all, head first. Next up is Heartsick by Chelsea Cain. Another book I stocked on a book outlet. You got to get on there, guys, if you don't already. They have a lot of great, interesting reads. In any case, this is another kind of adult thriller. It's about a detective. I think his name is Archie Sheridan. He's been tracking a serial killer named Gretchen Lowell. Now, he's caught up with her, but it's a trap. Gretchen basically abducts Archie, tortures him for 10 days, and then, to everyone's surprise, she releases him and turns herself in to the authorities. So Gretchen is now chilling in a supermax prison, and Archie is popping pain medication and having night terrors. However, he has to get back to work because a new serial killer has presented himself. He is abducting young girls and murdering them. And he has been asked to head a task force. But one of the reasons why he's being asked, because it's the belief that this new serial killer may have some sort of connection to Gretchen. And you know she loves her some Archie. At first blush, this book feels like it leans toward Silence of the Lambs. But in retrospect, well, after reading the entire description on the back, it kind of leans more toward Red Dragon, where the serial killer or the monster in prison actually has a previous relationship with the detective that's coming to see them. And from my understanding, this is a series. This is the first in the Archie and Gretchen narrative. So I don't know if she becomes like this kind of informant for a task force in regards to serial killers, or does she eventually get out? Guy a la Luther. Did anybody ever watch that show with Idris Elba? I don't know who the woman was on that show. Her character's name was Alice, and she was amazingly frightening. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for with Gretchen in here. That's really sick, right? To want to root for a serial killer. What is wrong with me? So I hear there's a thing for November called Nonfiction November, where people read a lot of nonfiction titles. Nonfiction is probably my least favorite category. However, in honor of Nonfiction November, I am going to read You Can't Touch My Hair by Phoebe Robinson. I mean, I've already started reading it. In any case, it's not a full-blown biography. It's a short essays discussing race and gender and pop culture. From a woman who I am a fan of. Phoebe Robinson is half of the Two Dope Queens duo. They have a podcast, they have a show on HBO. The other half of that duo is Jessica Williams from The Daily Show fame. And I love them both. I think they're hilarious and insightful and smart. And I did not know Phoebe had a book. She has a second book out recently. You see how this happens? I only go to the first book when I find out about the second one. But she has a new book out. I believe it's called Everything is Trash, But It's Okay. But I'm not going to read that one yet. I want to start at the beginning, and I'm going to start with You Can't Touch My Hair. I don't know how many times I've had to say that to people. If I had $1 for every time I had to tell someone that, I wouldn't have to work. Facts. In any case, she's funny, she's edgy, she's in your face, she's geeky and weird, just my type of person. I love her. And if you like to laugh from your diaphragm, I mean, get a good one in and just bust it out into the world, pick this up. It's hysterical. So last month I read a urban fantasy book that basically has set my nerves on edge. I am just teeming with need for another urban fantasy fix. And that book doesn't have a sequel yet. So I decided to pick up this, Magic Bites by Ilona Andrews. I believe this is called the Kate Daniels series. I learned about this series from Lauren over at the Novel Lush. She loves this series, and like I said, I am jonesing for an urban fantasy fix, and this is what this is. My understanding, it has magic, vampires, shapeshifters. Kate Daniels, who I believe this is on the cover, is kind of a fixer a la Ray Donovan. Shit gets weird and she comes in and regulates. However, somebody kills her mentor and she's out for justice. But there's a whole lot of other stuff going on in her quest to find justice for her mentor. She may also have to kind of fix other things in this universe. In any case, I trust Lauren's judgment, especially when it comes to fantasy, and I'm gonna jump into it. Plus, this is a really tiny book, so if it's as good as she says it is, I could probably bang this out within a few hours. So yeah, Magic Bites. So that's it, guys. This is my current November TBR. Things may get removed and some things added as the month progresses because it's just what I do. Also, there may be books that come off my hold list at the library, or my Kindle's Unlimited subscription may offer up something that I've been waiting on or didn't know about. They always suggesting things for me to read, so I'm definitely going to end up reading some kind of Kindle fare before the end of the month. I just know it. What do you guys think? Have you read any of these books? If you have, please let me know your opinions of them below. Also, if you have a TBR for November, put the link down below and let me know so I can come and watch your videos or scope out your Instagram or your blog, because I'm always interested in what other people are reading. That's how I get a lot of my ideas, as you can see. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because your support is always appreciated. Thanks, guys. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.